Oh man, let's see if Flip can get this right. He went to leave and somehow completely exited the stream. So hopefully we get this working now. My apologies, guys. This is rough. I hate technical difficulties. Hopefully we get some people in here. This makes for a really rough Tuesday. I hate this, but at least we got one person watching. So hopefully we get this rolling now. Foo says fingers crossed. I agree. I don't know how many people heard that at the beginning. Flip went to go do something else and just completely shut down the stream. So and then he went, oh, fuck. So hopefully we get this working. Media Heist, what's going on? How are you? We are going to get this. It is the Russian cyber tech. That would not surprise me right now. So anyways, I was talking about Pig. Let's talk about Pig. So Pig, Nicolas Cage, this is genuinely, I think, his best performance probably ever as far as acting. I think the movie overall is not quite as good as everybody said it was. It is not this masterpiece, but he elevates this beyond everything that it should be. It probably, without him, would have only been genuinely like a three-star movie. Pig is not 4K. It is only Blu-ray, and they did not release a 4K. It might be 4K digital, but again, 4K digital is really even less than Blu-ray on disc. It's not even that great. John says, what else would I be doing on a Tuesday night? And that's the hard thing. Foo says move it to another night. I'm sure we'll all join. The sad part is Flip won't. Flip only has Monday nights and Tuesday nights free. Jeff, you bring a very good point. And tonight we're going to be talking about remakes. And of course, Flip texted me earlier today, hey, I got my 5. No surprise, they're all Asian films. So we can all expect that for tonight. Media Heist took advantage of the Best Buy deal today. Nice. I did too. I got a little something. You know what? He is completely agree. He is amazing and wild at heart. I do think he might even be a little better in Pig. Take 3.
Hi.
I hear you.
Oh my god!
What did you do?
Punched the wall and said, hey.
Okay, so let's try to fix this. So first off, I do think this might be better than the other one that you love. Hell or High Water is great. I do think I like this one more.
I mean, all of them are good. The 3 Frontier trilogy, like I was saying when you went off air, Sicario, Hell or High Water, Wind River, all great.
And Sicario, I still think, is the best technical film of all 3. But
yeah, I mean, it's that's hard to argue against because it's Roger Deakins and Denis Villeneuve?
Yeah,
fucking French
people. But I don't remember. Did you see Pig?
Oh yeah, loved it.
You loved Pig. Okay, so Nicolas Cage, amazing in it. I do think that it is easily. I won't jump to say best performance, but easily top 3 from him. I think the movie is a little lesser than everybody got to praise, and I think a lot of that praise was only because of his performance, but it's good.
It's an anti-revenge movie.
Yes, and I think we've talked about the whole animal violence aspect of films that everybody's talking about lately. My wife did not watch this one with me. I was editing a video and had this on, and she was doing something else. But I told her, and I said, you know, you would love this movie. This guy had his pig stolen, went into the story a little bit. She goes, well, I hate animal violence. Do you think I'd like it? I was like, well, you'd enjoy a lot of it, and then at the end, you'd be crushed a little bit, even though there's nothing visible.
I really like how that movie just, like, everything you expect to happen doesn't happen. Like,
yes.
when you go to that underground fight club and you're like, oh shit, Nick Cage is about to go John Wick. This is going to be a John Wick movie with Nick Cage. And it's not that at all. It's a very touching, moving ending.
Right.
Yeah, it's more about redemption. It's an anti-revenge movie. It sets itself up with all the cliches of a revenge movie, especially in the era that we live in where every action movie is trying to be like John Wick. That movie just completely blew my expectations out of the water.
What's going on, Fuzz? John says, John, who was on the channel a few weeks ago, As I said before, and you brought it up, I'm the dissenting opinion that Pig was underwhelming. I would understand how it would be underwhelming if it was hyped up by everybody else. And believe me, this was legitimately one of the most hyped titles of last year, surprisingly. And again, his performance was really the main takeaway for me. But it was good. I was glad I finally saw it.
He's great. Yeah.
Did you add more you want to talk about that you watched?
Not just Taylor Sheridan's the fucking man, dude. There's only two people. There's like a handful of directors. I was telling this to, I think, Fu. Gareth Evans, obviously, I'll follow that man into the sun.
Right.
And then Taylor Sheridan, like those are the only two that, like, when they have new projects, I'm really excited for. Oh, and also Guy Ritchie just recently has been on a his non-Disney stuff, like Aladdin. He did that for a paycheck.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And I completely agree with the whole one for them and one or two for me type of mantra for the directors. Get paid, get your money, and then make the thing that you're passionate about. I'm all about that.
Yep.
Dang. Fuzz says Pig was his favorite movie last year.
I think Wrath of Man was.
There's still a lot I'm getting caught up on from last year.
Titan. That was.
I still haven't seen it. I'm waiting on my physical copy, and it's
watch it with the kids. It's a great family movie.
Let's see. No, Fu says I picked up Blade on 4K, but Blade 2 has no 4K release. Tragic. I agree. I do think 2 and 3 will get one eventually, but it'll probably take some time.
Wait, there's a third Blade? There's a third one? They made a third?
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
That's wild. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Blade Trinity.
Huh? Sounds like that would have Ryan Reynolds in it.
Media heist. Nobody's. I just heard what you said. Oh, that was pretty good. Media heist. Nobody's a legitimate contender to John Wick. Debatable which is better.
John Wick 100%. I just watched Nobody this week. It holds up. It's a great action film, but I just like the tone of John Wick more.
I think Nobody has the better script, and John Wick is probably. I think John Wick is the overall better film.
Go back and watch the first John Wick. It's a great script. Also, that same writer, what's his name? That's another guy I'll watch whatever he writes, even if it's a dumb action movie. Guy Ritchie did
Cohen's
Aladdin.
Mind.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie did Aladdin. He did a movie where I think like Stone Cold or some wrestler is the main character, and his last name is Wick as well. So it's like a trope. But yeah, I think honestly Nobody's still fun because that train sequence is great. The triple headshot with the sniper rifle from RZA is one of the best moments ever. But it's just like Home Alone. It's like Rambo did that as well, The Last Blood.
Yeah.
Which I think is underrated. Did you like the last Rambo?
I don't think it is as bad as everybody made it out to be, but I got to be honest, I've never loved any of the Rambo films at all. It's just not my type of film.
See, this is why me and him are starting a podcast. we have correct opinions. I'm gonna go get water.
So, by the way, for Cohen, that said Guy Ritchie did Aladdin. This is Guy Ritchie's, his up-to-date IMDb. First off, in pre-production, Aladdin 2, and then below that, yeah, below that we have Wrath of Man, The Gentleman, Aladdin. Obviously, the Beats by Dre mixtape short doesn't count. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. I don't think I've seen King Arthur yet.
Underrated. Not as bad as people say.
Interesting. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., couple shorts. And then I still love the 1-2 punch of the Sherlock Holmes films. Genuinely great movies. And then we got Rock and Rolla, Revolver, and then all the other stuff.
Honestly, I think Ritchie's in a little bit of like a career renaissance. I think people need to look over, Two Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel and Snatch or whatever. I love
Snatch. I disappointed Cam by saying I've never loved any of the Rambo films.
What? See right here, look at that. See, King Arthur Assault flips right again. Let's see.
And I love how you're doing something with him, and then you did something with me just because our opinions are so complete opposite.
Yeah, but our chemistry and our friendship is incredible.
Nerd says he walked out on Aladdin. I still have chosen not to watch it, and I don't like. I respect Will Smith, but the idea that they have Will Smith as the genie just turned me off immediately.
Yeah, no way. I don't like Will Smith, so that's just like
Really. I think
Don't
he's
like him.
genuinely done a lot of really good stuff.
yeah. I mean, I can recognize he's a good actor. It's just not for me. Wild Wild West, Jim West, Desperado.
I unironically really like Wild Wild
Me
West.
too.
It is
do
so
too.
cheesy. I also like. I don't think enough people nowadays put enough attention on some of the things that are not maybe I shouldn't use the word blockbusters because they were still major blockbusters. But I mean, he did a lot of cheesy. I'm going to choose this drama film, and I feel like that really deflated his reputation. But at the same time, he did really good in a lot of them.
Also, Jada just cucking him kind of deflated.
Deflategate too.
I love that the year after Deflategate happened and all eyes were on Brady, he went and just won a Super Bowl. It's fucking great. I love him. What a guy.
Fucking Tom Brady.
The GOAT.
The one I was going to bring up before we walk away from Will Smith, everybody's talking about things they walked out of. I genuinely think nobody respects enough I Am Legend. That movie is really good, and the fact that he is the only person in it for like 85% of the movie is astonishing that you want to keep watching it.
It's because he's so charismatic. Even though I don't like him, he's charismatic.
Well, I think that's one of the first movies that he actually showed like genuine range.
He falls into like the Adam Sandler trope for me, like where it's like he's usually one note.
Serious, yeah.
And then, but when he is serious and he's got a good script, it's really good.
Yep. You said you had some pickups. You want to talk about those now? Now
let's talk.
Half an hour into shit night.
I picked up one of the worst spaghetti westerns of all time. It's God's Gun. Absolutely terrible.
Brand new release.
Brand new, yeah, from Kino. It's got a commentary by. Can you guess? Alex Cox.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, give you a hint. Mike Penis. It's Alex Cox. The latest Third Window film, which I am so excited that this actually got a release. Crazy Thunder Road.
Yeah.
Guys, go pick this up. This is Japanese Mad Max. It's a little weird. I mean, this director, what's his name? Sogo Ishii. He did Burst City. It's an acquired taste. If you don't like him, that's fine. But I really love him. This movie kicks fucking ass. Yeah, it's got a nice. It's got a commentary. It's got an interview with the director, commentary by Tom Mess, and a video essay by Jasper Sharp. So nice little solid special feature list there. And then a movie about me and every one of my friends. It's a Skinny Tiger, Fatty Dragon. If Ryan was just a little thinner, this movie would be about us because he's taller than me. Actually, yeah, you're bald like Carl. This is literally us. Look at that.
I love how you call me bald.
He's bald. He's bald.
And you're the one with thinning hair.
And he's fat and has black hair. That is hilarious, dude. This is us. You joke about God's Gun Flip, or is it worth picking up? It is a bad movie. It is a bad movie, but I am a completionist when it comes to certain genres. And it's got fucking Lee Van Cleef. Of course, it's worth the pickup. But this movie, I was surprised. This is my first watch. Surprised by how much I loved it. It's very much like Hong Kong comfort food. It's got like all the hits in it. They could not make this movie today. I don't know if you've seen this. There are
not yet.
There are transvestite assassins in this movie. And they joke it up pretty hard. Like Sam was like punching and kicking. And they're like, "Are you hitting a woman?" And he's like, "No, it's a man." Great, but seriously, great release from Eureka. Reversible art with the original artwork. Nice little essay book. And you got Frank Jang. Frank Jang's on there. And you get the Mike Leader, Arnie Venom. You get a new audio interview with stuntman martial artist Mark Houghton, and then the limited edition, you get a second disc in this, and it comes with an entire um, documentary based on a stuntman called "I Am the White Tiger." That was a self-absorbed documentary. I don't know why it was included. I really don't know. I mean, it's cool that it's there, but it was not my thing. And then more SamuraiDVD.com goodness. So we got Sleepy Eyes of Death number 13, Full Moon Swordsman. So this is after Raizo Ichikawa passed away at the age of like 30 something, really young. They did 2 more films, and then Fly Fought Swordplay. I don't even know what the fuck that means. And then there was a TV show called what is it? What's the Son of the Black Mass? So you got Son of the Black Mass seasons 1 and 2, both 20 episodes, 23 episodes. This must have been on like after hours on Japan television, because the first episode,
steamy.
the first episode, a woman is at a gate of like a castle, and the samurai are like letting her in, and she just like whips out a titty and is like, "I'm gonna kill myself right here and now." So yeah, it's good.
That's how you get in.
See, look, me and him again with the great opinions. Look at that. See, just not. Yeah, it's not. I mean, he's a great stuntman. He's, I get why he has his own documentary, but it should have been done so much better. And I'm really confused why it's included with that.
So I kind of figured for this show this week, I would focus on a whole bunch of media books I got in. We've talked about media books on here before, and I love them.
Was that when Diabolic got their restock a couple days ago?
No, most of these are from the Raz group, actually.
Oh, damn.
And I'm just on a super kick on them. So the first one is the movie Ghostland. Love that cover, and then pretty fancy back on the rear side as well. And then I got in let me see, can I show this? A rather disingenuous Jess Franco cover on this one. Really interesting. And then I will never mind. I would have to use like 4 fingers to show you the back.
Do it. Just do it. Just flash it. Do it. Just don't. Just fucking. Who cares?
I do.
Who cares? Oh my God, Ryan! I'm only 30. I can't see that.
Oh, wrong one. I did flash it accidentally. The one that came with that is a Christopher Lee film. Like in the cover art on that one.
Can you try to pronounce all the German titles?
Sure. Creepshow 2?
No, the other one. Go back to the you fucker.
Die Schlagengrube und das Pendel. A lot of people don't love this movie because it's a bit transgressive, but I genuinely like Martyrs, and I got this in a media book, and love this movie.
Is that the remake or the original?
This is the original. It better be the original.
Original is one of my favorite movies. It's so good.
Let's see. Stendhal says, what releases that? I have the Redemption Kino one. I believe. Wait, which one are we talking about? If we're talking about the Jess Franco, that is. What is the company on this? It just says X, which is very interesting. Genuinely, it's the X-rated Eurocult collection. And if you're talking about the Lee one, that is. Man, they do not M Square or Square M. They do not advertise themselves very well. Man, everybody's bragging about getting Vinegar Syndrome subscriptions. I still haven't gotten mine, and I got a lot of these people to get Vinegar Syndrome subscriptions.
And I want to say, I have at least 50 years to watch it.
50 years of guns.
Hopefully. Well, hopefully I don't make it to 80. Fuck, that sounds awful.
You were talking about Virgin Among the Living Dead. Yeah, so it literally just says X on it. Let me see if I can find a better.
X gonna give it to you.
Stendhal, I'll get back to you on that one. I'll figure it out tonight after the stream. If you look up,
what's your favorite DMX song?
Probably that one.
We used to in football when we would play Bloomington Central Catholic, which is our rival, all Catholic school. We used to draw upside down crosses in the football makeup, and pentagrams on our head. and we'd be on the line, and we would be quoting, "I got blood on my hands, and there's no remorse. I got blood on my dick because I fucked your corpse."
My last one, I think this was the coolest one. That's why I saved this one for last, which it's not really even a media book. It's kind of just a digipack with a booklet in it. But this is Bava's. The German title is Vampire gegen Heracles. But what's really cool is it has this little slipcase, and it's not even a full slip. That comes off. And then the art on this is surprisingly great. Really good animated art throughout the entire thing. Don't know why I said animated, illustrated. I believe it is. What is the actual translation? I think it's literally like Vampire of Hercules or something like that.
Have you seen the kung fu movie Chinese Hercules with I think Bolo Young? Have you seen that movie?
Not yet.
Do you have it? Do you have the? There's a double feature. It's that and something else.
Okay, I don't think so. Let me see this. I'm going to look it up real quick, see if they translate it. Vampire gegen.
High School of the Dead. You guys watched High School of the Dead? You degenerates.
Okay, so it's Hercules. Hercules in the Haunted World, or Hercules at the Center of the Earth. But anyways, on the inside, it's got a full-on booklet as well. So, really cool set. That is the bulk of what I wanted to show tonight.
That's a lot of media books.
Yeah, and that all literally came out in the last 2 days.
I wish there was a U.S. company doing media books. I like them so much. I still have just the one. Just the one still. And it's awesome. It's one of my favorite things in my collection.
I agree with Fu here. So can I be Fu's friend now?
What did you agree with him on? Depends.
He says zombies and titties, what's not to love?
That's actually
there you
really
go.
Good point. That's a really good point.
There's a new friend for you. 65% of my collection is anime. He says Media Heist.
Hey, nice. I love anime.
Well,
do you want to talk about the topic tonight?
Yes, but before we jump into our choices, I'm curious, what is your overall feelings on remakes? Because we've literally never talked about remakes on this channel yet. Because obviously nowadays, remakes has a very loaded connotation with it.
I think people are big babies. I really don't care. Like when someone says, "Hey, I'm remaking something," cool. Like when the Raid remake got announced and people were flipping out, it's like, why? Who gives a fuck? We have the original. Selling the rights gave Gareth Evans the funding for Raid 2. Who gives a shit? Right. I'm cautiously optimistic. But then there are movies that I think could have never been remade, even remotely good, like Harakiri, and then Takashi Miike makes a great movie out of that. There are exceptions to the rule, but yeah, I picked out some good ones. Mine was hard to just pick in my collection straight up remakes. This is more of like the same story reimagined in a way, if that makes sense. Only one of these I think is a direct straight up remake. The rest of them are like very similar plot.
Right.
So, but yeah, remakes, I don't care. I don't see why people get so up in arms about them. I mean, Marvel's been remaking the same plot for the last 10 years.
I won't stand by that. But what I will say is, when it comes to remakes, there's something negative in that word that a lot of people just need to get out of their head. So with man, John, I hate to do this to you, but I'm just going to quote exactly what you're saying, like I do every week. It has to be on a case-by-case example, because even if it's bad, the original is still there. Yet, it might be imaginative, so what's the big deal? And there are a lot of things, like, obviously, there's a lot of unoriginal ideas coming down the pipe in Hollywood right now. And one of them that got some set photos this week, there is a Wonka movie coming starring Timothy Chalamet.
It's a prequel.
Yeah. Something like that. So it's not technically a remake. However, the original movie, you know, if we go with you know, the entire concept of a chocolate factory, could you imagine how much better that could be done nowadays without Tim Burton and his Oompa Loompas involved? Like, genuinely just go for a straight remake of the original, make it look better, you know, do the tunnel scene with actual like scary footage that's done in a better way. You could do the entire thing really well done. But then there are other things that really don't need to be made. Like tonight, my wife and I watched with our kids. I finally showed them the Goonies. And I say finally, even though it says shit like 17 times. I forgot that. But hey, they're only 5 and 7. It's amazing. And my wife goes, you know, I could see them doing some cool stuff with the Goonies remake. And all I could think was, like, what? I mean, there's not really anything that needs to be redone, because Goonies is pretty damn close to a perfect film. And there's nothing that like could do better with adapted CGI from 2022 or anything like that. It's a really well made movie. I don't
And
see
then
what
there
we
are
add to it.
and then there are things that get remade, and I go into everything as an open mind. Like I'm the type of guy who's like, I don't give a shit. Something's remade, I love it, I'll watch it. But that Old Boy remake was fucking offensively bad, terrible.
But at the same time, we can say, oh, that movie exists. Anyways, let's only talk about the first one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still
exactly.
there.
Oh, also, I think the Evil Dead remake was great. Different, totally, it's different.
Don't
It's
talk
very
about
different. Oh, okay. I actually really like that movie quite a bit. A Goonies remake would be chastised for its fat shaming. We should shame fat people.
I shame myself all the time.
I shame myself every day. I go to the gym and I work out till I vomit, and then I go, "You fat piece of shit."
See, I don't really agree with Media Heist here. He says the biggest issue with the remake is tarnishing the original because it can give you a bad taste. How? What is it doing about the remake? The only thing that I would say that that's true about is if you're making a sequel, which is one of the reasons that we're even doing the subject tonight, is because everybody this weekend was up in arms about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre of 2022.
Dude, this is why, oh my God, this is why I don't like horror movies, is this whole debacle. It's just, every time a horror movie comes out, you get like 50% people being like, God, fucking best movie of the year, bro. Oh my God, I love it. And then you got 50% being like total assholes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm so glad I'm not in that fandom. It sounds like, it just feels like it'd be such a headache.
It's really not. The issue, though, is that there are people that seem to not understand just being entertained by films.
Also, I just want to, this is controversial. Original Texas Chainsaw is just overrated.
I would disagree there completely.
Okay. House of a Thousand Corpses is better.
No. Just no.
I'm just trying to see if I can piss anybody off. I haven't seen it. I'm joking.
I still think that a Rob Zombie remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre would be freaking amazing.
I was joking, John. So joke's on you. But yeah, right here, perfect. I almost actually chose a couple of these. 310 to Yuma, fucking superb.
I thought you were going to choose it, so I didn't.
I didn't choose it. I chose another Western over it. Dread is not. I wouldn't say Dread's a remake because Dread's like it's from the comic, different storyline.
It's like
Dawn of the Dead's great. Dawn of the Dead's great. New Dragon Gate Inn is great. Evil Dead's great. I actually like the Thing remake. The Departed, I like and I don't like.
You want to get into the 5 that we chose tonight, and so just so everybody knows, we're not talking about top 5 or anything like that. We're just saying
just 5
remakes that we think are worth your time. So when you hear the word when you hear the word remake associated with the movie, instead of saying, "Well, it's a remake, I don't want to see that shit," we don't need remakes. These are 5 that you actually should be watching. And Flip, I'm going to choose to go first tonight. And unlike usual, where I say I cheated and I chose like 10 or something like that, the only way that I cheated is I wanted to get some of these discussions out of the way. And we've got like 15 comments on this already. So my first spot, I just wanted to overall talk about the holy trinity of horror remakes and say that The Thing, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and The Fly, literally incredible, amazing remakes. They are all great. and they are all literally almost perfect films. God, you know what? I might even say all three of these are perfect films for me. I think
The
that
Thing
they
is
are.
a perfect film.
I think that The Thing and The Fly are. I think that Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I probably have not seen it enough to have that type of respect for me, but I really love it, and I do think that they are amazing. Cohen says, have you seen the originals of all of these? And that is a great question. You got to have something to compare it to. And for all of these, I have for sure. I'm pretty sure you've seen all the originals that you're basing yours off of.
Yes, yes. Yep.
I think that The Fly, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and The Thing are the perfect reason why we should not shun anything that has the word remake on it just because it has that word. They are literally perfect films, and it does not matter that they are a remake. That doesn't make it inherently bad. They are damn near perfect.
So what's your first pick?
Those three. That is what I wanted to go off of, just to get it out of the way.
You did cheat.
In a way, but there's already been like 20 comments on those three titles, so I wanted to make sure that everybody understood they do deserve respect.
My first pick is True Grit. I think what the Coen brothers did with this movie is it's miles above the original. And I also, to go back to 310 to Yuma, I think John was saying something about 310 to Yuma. I love old westerns. Like, I love the genre. 310 to Yuma is like I think it's like almost obscenely bad. I was like, what the fuck? Why is this in the criteria?
Yep.
Remake far better. But this, I cannot believe the cast in this movie. It's damn good. Jeff Bridges is incredible. And it's serious, but it's like lighthearted. You know what I mean? Like, there's like some good humor in there. There's Brolin's in it for like a few minutes, like just a few scenes, and he's amazing in it. Barry Pepper is in this movie, and he fucking steals the show for the little bit that he's in. I highly recommend this movie. I can't say enough great things about this. I watched this about once a year. I watched it twice last year.
It's a good
because of how much I love it. It is, and then the whole scene with the guy dressed up in the bear. Like, that's just, it's so funny, but then it's got one of the saddest endings to a movie ever. Just so heartbreaking.
And Haley Steinfeld, genuinely great in that movie too.
Yeah, she's also great in Pitch Perfect.
She's a friggin' rock star nowadays. She is all over the place.
What is she in now, besides Pitch Perfect?
Well, she's also a pop star. That's the other main thing.
She is?
Yeah, she sings.
John's right. Barry Pepper, fucking, when he played Dale Earnhardt, dude, I cried. Raised hell, praise Dale. Yes, I do, actually. I do. I didn't want to pick any obvious ones because I was going to pick, like, Mike's 13 Assassins and then Zatoichi. Right. But I was like, I don't want to pick the obvious. But, yeah, I do think Kitano Zatoichi gets too much shit. I like the CG blood. Like, there's just air, like movies in the era like that and Ninja Assassin, I'll eat up. What's your next pick?
Well, first, Sardis says the Little Shop of Horrors remake is so much fun. I agree. Literally almost in my 5 tonight. That's one that I've not watched in a long time, and I really need to again. And I think we talked about this before, but Eric is asking, what do we think about shot-for-shot remakes like Psycho or Funny Games? Do you have any feelings on those?
No.
I appreciate Funny Games because it's, first of all, the same director, so you know that he respects the script. And then second of all, it is bringing the film to another audience altogether because it was in a different language and filmed with different actors. So for those people that won't watch a foreign film, it brings a story to them that they can respect. And sadly, for some people, you got to spoon feed them like that.
Is Dave referring to the 13 Ghost movie from like the early 2000s where it was like bizarre, like almost Hellraiser looking ghost? I like that.
I love that movie, and I just watched it like a month and a half ago.
See, you guys, I'm not this predictable. I did not pick that movie. I almost did. Actually, yeah. So my next pick is Graveyards of Honor. It's right there.
If we were doing top 5, some of these would probably be included.
Oh, these would be, yeah. These are just 5 that I haven't talked about. in a while and wanted to talk about.
So my second one, we had a comment up here. Media High says, I forgot the Blob remake. No, I didn't. I think that the Blob remake is a much better film than the original. I appreciate the original, but again, another one that I don't really understand why it's in the Criterion Collection. Well, I do understand that it was important at the time that it came out, but this movie is so much better. First off, Shawnee Smith, what?
I agree with Fu's comment. That movie is better than the original, and that soundtrack, that remake of that Zeppelin song, fuck.
Yep. Fincher's amazing, always.
Yeah, he is.
So the Blob, obviously, Dylan is great, but I adore Shawnee Smith because I'm a big Saw fan, and so this really brought her to the forefront. Really well acted, but the big thing about this, and unfortunately, I know that Flip is going to lean into his Westerns and Asian films. I tried not to lean into horror, but because a lot of the ones that I was going to pick, I thought he might pick, so I only leaned into horror tonight. And I will say, the reason I like this one is because it is genuinely terrifying. I mean, one of the main characters of the film is swallowed by the blob, like in the first 10 minutes. And so it puts you on edge to understand anybody could be got in this film. And it just works so well. So, yeah, the Blob remake, fantastic.
Every time someone says "Get Got," the song by Death Grips. I don't know. Are you a big fan of Death Grips?
I am not. Not
the
that I
rap
think
metal
bad.
group.
Yeah, I've just never listened.
But
to
that song that goes "Get got," I got the blood rush in my head. We have to drop it off the fucking. Yeah, I like the Blob quite a bit. Like, I agree with you again. I think the old one is like bad, but it's also that we're looking at stuff in a modern lens,
right?
Followed by the Blob. Dude, that's why
so much.
That's one of my favorite things about his podcast is that he's constantly making jokes like that, and it's like I'll be like washing dishes or something at the restaurant because I always listen to it like while I'm like I have nothing else to do. Like no, I mean I listen to it when I have nothing that I have to do that distracts me from listening to something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when we're closed and I'm washing dishes, and I'll stop sometimes and have to like catch myself laughing because it's so funny. My next pick is The Sword of Doom. George Lucas can suck ball. So Sword of Doom, based on the same material, the Satan Sword trilogy, it is story-wise, beat for beat, the exact same movie as the first Satan Swords film, just done better, like much better. The Satan Sword trilogy came out, I believe, 3 years before this movie, but this movie is a work of art. Have you seen this?
I don't think so. I know I don't have that one, so probably not.
It's spy number 280, so this is kind of early.
Yeah.
In the Criterion Collection. This has got Nakadai and Mifune in it. It's directed by Okamoto, and it's just very nihilistic. It's very dark. This was supposed to be the first in a trilogy. They were originally supposed to remake the Satan Sword trilogy, just with a higher budget. They never got to do it. Sword of Doom is by itself. You can literally watch this and then go watch the other two Satan Sword movies, and you won't be lost at all. Because it's story-wise exactly the same and leads right into it. Fucking really dark movie. Love it. One of the best like one-take scenes. It's really great. Highly recommend Sword of Doom. Yeah, Sword of Doom is grim with a great ending. Okamoto is underappreciated. Eric, I love you. I almost messaged you a J-pop music video I saw today because it was fucking banging. It was great. Oh, and by the way, Eric, another thing I thought of you. Taylor and I watched Kate last night, and Bandmaid came up, and I was like, "Oh, this is Eric, the Asian movie enthusiast's favorite band." But yeah, Sword of Doom, great film.
So John's question, he says, what about remakes that reimagine the story into a different setting, like Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress into Star Wars?
One
So
of my
I will
picks is
say,
that. Actually, two of my picks are that actually.
what I was going to say is, in my opinion, the word reimagined here kind of gives what I would say away. Is I don't really see that as a remake. I see that as a completely different reimagining. And in terms of a remake, it has to be going for a lot of the same, feeling, setting, story for the most part. And obviously, a lot of these are not going to be perfect. Like the next one I'm going to talk about is not an exact story because it's a completely different type of character. But that being said, something like Kurosawa to Star Wars, that's a complete reimagining, and that's more of like an inspiration to me. I don't really see that as a remake.
Two of mine are reimaginings, but they're more closely related than from Hidden Fortress.
Stendhal says, I didn't watch the American remake of Let the Right One In. That new title just put me off from watching it. I will say,
I like
Let
it.
Me In is actually pretty good. It's not awful. It is nowhere near as good as Let the Right One In, but it is worth the watch, and it does have its own merits. Especially because, again, kind of like what I mentioned earlier with Funny Games, it brought the story to a new audience that might not have ever seen the original one. Or
Both those
sorry,
films are so good.
that never would have seen the original one. Yes,
I
I agree.
remember
Let the Right One In is amazing.
remember the original was on Netflix when I was in high school, I think.
That sounds
And
right.
I was just like, what? I want to be a vampire. It was my Twilight.
So the third one that I thought was going to be a hot take because a lot of people don't speak up for it, but now it's already been brought up tonight. The new Evil Dead 2012 or 2014, whatever it is. So this movie is rad, and this is the exact type of film that deserves a remake because it takes the story and changes it just enough to make it interesting and compelling, but brings it to a new audience that probably never would have seen the first one, especially because the original trilogy has more of a slapstick vibe to it now. And the way this was made is just the opposite of that. This movie is genuinely scary. It takes the original story and makes it something that is frightening and looks fantastic. The way it's filmed is great. The effects are incredible. The things that what's her name? Is it Jane Levy? I think is the star in this. Yeah, Jane Levy. The things she had to go through in this film are crazy. Like filming in one spot for like a 10-hour day, literally covered in blood, and having to like peel things off of her because she's been sitting there for so long. Yeah, this is amazing. This is such a great movie, and I'm so glad that there are people in the comments talking about this right now. But uh, this is one that not a lot of people talk about. And that's one of the reasons why I thought that it should be brought up because it deserves a lot more respect than it has. Evil Dead is it's one of those untouchable franchises for a lot of people, but this is the perfect example of coming to a beloved franchise, giving it respect, but also taking it to a completely new audience that will genuinely probably seek out some of the original releases. Then, so Evil Dead
It's
is amazing.
extremely violent.
Oh yeah, it literally rains blood in the third act.
It's not funny at all like the original. It's like it's a fucked up movie. I love it.
Yep.
Um, hang on. Let me. All right, here we go. Yeah, my next pick is 13 Assassins, but not Miike's version, the 1990 made-for-television adaptation of this movie. So, a lot of hype going into this. People, when I say people, I mean two people that I know that really like samurai movies were like, "Yo, this is the best version of the movie, the best version of the story. It's better than the '63 one. It's better than Miike's." I don't know how to rank these because I think all of them are equally good. The original is very plot heavy, Miike's is very action heavy, and this one is like a nice in between of those two. And for a made for television show that's 30 years plus 30 years old, in a country whose budgets for entertainment is already pretty low, it's extremely well done. Extremely well done. So if you can find this, pick it up. It's worth your time. 1990, 95 minutes. It's I think it's the shortest version of the story too, which is probably another reason why I like it so much. It's not 2.5 hours. It's not 2 hours. It's 95. It's perfect. Crisp 95. I'll take that over a 3-hour movie.
And it was probably 2.5 hours on TV.
That I didn't think about that. That's true. Well, do other countries have commercials like we do? Like, does Japan have like commercial breaks?
Everywhere has some, but for example, like when you're watching Taskmaster, they legitimately only have 4 during an entire hour. And when you're in the US, in a half an hour, sometimes you'll have 3 or 4 breaks, which sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like it. I mean, the sword fighting isn't like up to par as the BK version, obviously, but it has a charm. The actors do a great job, and it's got fucking it's got Nakadai in it. So, and he's a great actor.
Nice.
He's still alive, I think.
From 1990? I mean, that's not too far-fetched.
Well, no, I mean he was in Harakiri. Like that guy is old as fuck.
Right. Dave says, would I consider Cabin in the Woods as an Evil Dead remake? No. But Cabin in the Woods, obviously heavily inspired by Evil Dead. And there are a lot of nods to Evil Dead in Cabin in the Woods. And it is, I will say Cabin in the Woods could not have been made without Evil Dead, for sure.
I agree with that.
My fourth pick, one that I think deserves respect, that really, in my opinion, doesn't get it all that often. And I think that this is a very interesting choice for this week after what we just talked about with Texas Chainsaw. That is Jessica Biel's remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I don't hate it.
From 2003. I think that this is a really good version of this movie. I think that Jessica Biel sort of makes it. She does. She takes an approach to the film that had to be earnest, obviously, to get this done. She makes a good final girl. It's really well acted. It's a modern take on something that was made 3 decades before this came out for a lot of people. For parents telling their kids about the scary movie that when you go back and watch the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's frightening, but there's no gore, and a lot of people nowadays really like that. So this upped that. And yeah, I think it's a really good entry into the franchise, even though it's not a part of the franchise. It's a remake. I agree with Fu. I think that Jessica Biel is hot as hell in this movie. And this is fantastic. If you have not watched this one, certainly seek it out. It is honestly, this is the brutal remake that it deserved. I just wish that they would have waited a couple years and let Rob Zombie do it instead of Halloween. And I think that it would have been a nearly perfect film.
I think Rob Zombie's Halloweens are perfect.
No, you don't.
I like them.
I do too, but I know you don't think they're perfect. And John says a horror remake no one champions is Maniac. And god damn it, John, that was going to be on my next list the next time we do one of these, because I love Maniac.
We'll forget by then. We'll forget. My next pick is a wuxia film from, I think, the 1990. Again, I think so. Not sure. But yeah, this is Choi Hark's The Blade remake of The One-Armed Swordsman. And I gotta say, I rewatched this somewhat recently. I love Choi Hark's wuxia films. They're so fucking weird. Like everything, like he speeds up the frame so everyone's just moving at like fucking like just it's nuts. It's absolutely insane. The final fight in this movie is fantastic. The choreography is great. It's like a weird dystopian version of the story. Really, really good. I don't think it's as good as Choi Hark's Swordsman, but The Blade is fantastic. And this needs a fucking Blu-ray. We only have this Warner Archive DVD, and I think it's a press disc. Is this a fucking manufactured on demand disc from Warner Archive?
Most of their DVDs are.
That's bullshit. But yeah, the action in this movie is unique for sure. It's like the first time I saw that movie, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" There's nothing like it. It's so weird, but it's great. Super badass. Recommend.
I've heard great things about that, surprisingly.
Great. Well, surprisingly, what do you mean? All of the movies I recommend you are fantastic.
I agree. I genuinely do agree with that, but it's
Fuck.
not something that gets spoken about very, very often. So
It needs a Eureka release. We need artwork by what's his fucking name? This guy. What's his name? Darren Wheeling. I grew up on Choi Hark's 90s wuxia. Dude, Choi Hark's a director where like anything he did with like Van Damme I'm not a big fan of, but anything that's like his real Hong Kong stuff with no white guys in it, fucking fantastic. Love him. And he's still alive.
jeez.
Someone told me today that Stephen Chow was like a powerful member in the fucking triads.
Interesting.
That's badass.
All right. So
What's your final pick?
my final pick is what I have to think this through before I make this this claim, but I think this may be, other than the Godfather amazing trilogy that I said at the beginning. I think that this might be the best modern horror remake of all. Sorry, let me make this a good statement. I think that this is the best version of a horror remake. I think the original of this is okay. It's not that great, and this is the way that they brought it to an audience that will genuinely appreciate it and made it creepy as hell. I think that The Hills Have Eyes might be the most compelling and best horror remake of the last 20 years, by a long shot. Obviously, the original is a classic, but really, it's not even that great when you look back on it. Obviously, you have to look with the legacy mindset and understanding that it is, it was scarier then type of feeling. But nowadays it's hardly anything. And when you compare the original to the remake, oh my God, are they two very different movies? This new one is so well done, so well acted, and just beyond harrowing that it is really kind of hard to watch in a lot of scenes, especially when the abuse and the terrorizing at the end comes in. It was especially difficult for me because a lot of the places that they filmed that in really looked like my hometown, so it brought that extra creep factor. And the better part about that is the original Hills Have Eyes was actually filmed about 40 minutes from my hometown. So
You're like, that's my neighbor.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, so really both of them good movies. I think that The Hills Have Eyes, the remake, is genuinely a league above the original, like 2 or 3 leagues above. I think that the original really only gets acclaim because of who was attached to it.
Top 5 films that would never be remade today. That's a good topic for another day.
Yeah.
It's a great topic.
Or top 5 films that should never be remade.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a movie. I can't think of one. But my final pick is a TV show. And that's The Mute Samurai. Talked about this before. This was pretty much, they took the inspiration, they remade The Great Silence into a TV show. He's even got a gun. He's got the same gun that the character from The Great Silence has. One of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life. That's why it's got a spot on my favorite shelf, because it's so fucking good. It's a masterpiece. That show, masterpiece. Top 10 favorite things ever.
That is a bold statement to be able to make.
Yeah, so that is my.
And again, those are not the 5 best. Those are 5 that we think deserve recognition and respect and a watch.
Yes. Now, if you have, did you have any runners up?
No, genuinely, I was only choosing 5. I told you I was not going to cheat this one.
Well, I mean, really, you spent 7.
Kind of.
You picked 7, Mister.
Do you know why your screen went black?
Because I'm black.
Speaking of things that won't get remade. He left. Oh, flip. I wonder if all of this technical difficulty tonight was something with him. Ryan with a giallo lighting tonight. I'm trying to go with this moving forward. I finally found a good way to get my light dialed in pretty but I can't speak. Much better than it was for a long time. And oh God, I just saw your list here. Salo, Necromantic, From Beyond, Fiend Without a Face, and a Serbian film. A couple of those definitely wouldn't. But man, I would almost love to see a remake of From Beyond. They probably would not do it, but From Beyond could do really well nowadays. That's such an interesting, like, goopy movie.
Goopy?
Yeah, some of the old the H.P. Lovecraft film From Beyond. I don't think you've seen that one, but
yeah. I'm not gonna see anything described as goopy.
Why not? That makes it so much better. Just like there's a Vinegar Syndrome film called Body Melt that came out, and I love it. And one of the things that, I mean, the name Melt is in the title, and it really goes with that word a lot in that movie. Society would definitely never get. Yep, that's a very goopy film.
What's that movie? 10 Lives of a Wet Pussy or whatever?
9 Lives, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, Street Trash is a really good Melt movie.
Melt?
Yeah.
The genre Melt?
Yeah, like a goopy film.
Goopy?
What, should I use the word moist? I mean, what do you want here?
Moist? Just realized my wife put this up here. Picture of me and her.
Nice.
Yeah, she's so hot. Sometimes I look at her and I go, what the fuck? Why is she with me? She's so good looking. Look at that. I married that. Isn't that wild? It's crazy.
It's pretty shocking.
I know. What the fuck? Oh, man.
Suckling definitely wouldn't get remade, but that's the hard part. Some of these movies that would do best from a remake is a movie that wasn't great on execution, that was made and it had like a really good idea, but the movie sucked. And because of that, it doesn't have the fan base to get the money to make another movie. And that would be the perfect contender.
You couldn't remake a movie called Crippled Avengers in 2022. The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville, I agree. That's hilarious.
Yep.
That's not that long ago. I think after Jackass, I think after those guys are done, they kind of got grandfathered in. You won't be able to do that shit.
A Jackass film or The Ringer?
Jackass movies. Like Jackass-style movies.
I think they will still do very well. We just need somebody willing to do it. And I think the people that they're passing the torch on to in this new film, they'd probably do pretty well.
I will let somebody kick me in the... Well, no, I don't.
Had to reel that back in, huh?
Yeah, I had to realize what I was saying. Midway, I was like, oh, no.
Stendhal says, hasn't there been modern B-movie reboots of Brian Yuzna's films released by Full Moon? I haven't watched them, just some trailers. I know that they did Castle Freak. I'm not sure of many others.
I'm surprised Nymphomaniac got which made me Dave. which fun fact about Nymphomaniac, I have a bigger penis than Shia LaBeouf. So if you want to see what his penis looks like, go watch that movie and then imagine me, but bigger.
Why?
Most of Mel Brooks, disagree. I think Mel Brooks' comedy is fine. I don't think you'd be able to make the Chappelle Show.
Yeah, that's probably true.
No, I don't like King Kong.
I actually like the Peter Jackson remake. I don't think it's terrible. And then I really love Kong Skull Island. If you count that as a remake, I think that is a much better film.
That was all right. What did Peter Jackson do after Lord of the Rings? Kong, and then what else?
The Hobbit.
Those. Oh shit, that's right. Fuck, I forgot those movies.
More of the Lord of the Rings. I and let me preface that when I said I like the Peter Jackson King Kong, it's not a great movie. I just liked it. I was entertained by it. I understand that it's drivel, but I went into it expecting that.
How do you feel about the Hobbit movies?
I purposefully have not watched them.
How do you feel about the new Lord of the Rings show?
I also don't really care about that.
Isn't there a film called White Dog about a dog that only attacks black people? I don't think that would be made.
I mean, if we're just going to talk about race, I mean, there's things like Coonskin
American
that'll never
History
be
X.
made. I think American History X could still do well today. I mean, Vinegar Syndrome hinted at putting out Coonskin years ago, and I still really hope that gets done.
What's that about?
Coonskin. Well, let me. The IMDb on this one, I've not looked up in a long time, but it's got to be
The way you say coon is very uncomfortable for me.
So Coonskin is Rabbit, a country-born trickster, takes over the organized crime racket in Harlem, facing opposition from the institutionalized racism of the mafia and corrupt police. Now, the best part, Coonskin is an animated film. And they leaned into it. It's an adult, not like an adult film, but it's made for adults.
Doesn't sound very good.
It is surprisingly great. And the best part, the two like main people that are the voices are Barry White and Scatman Crothers.
I'm a scat man.
Okay.
Scatman John, you're not a big fan of Scatman John?
Only in the movie. Oh God, what is that movie with Martin?
Every
Lawrence
wedding is not
and Tim
complete
Robbins?
without I'm a Scatman playing. Mandatory wedding material.
I don't think I've ever heard that at a wedding. I gotta be honest.
What? I've heard it at every wedding because I'm the one requesting it. Hey, can you play I'm a Scatman?
Nope. Nobody has said the title of that movie yet. I gotta look it up now. It was Nothing to Lose. Have you ever seen Nothing to Lose with Tim Robbins and Martin Lawrence?
No.
It is a it's a Martin Lawrence film, obviously.
Love Martin
you know what
Lawrence.
that means. So 1997, at the peak of Martin Lawrence.
Black people are going to be in it? What does that mean?
Well, just over the top and like almost a comedy to the point where it's in your face comedy. And this movie is great. So the synopsis on IMDb: Nick's wife's in bed with his boss. He later gets a gun to his head by a carjacker, but steps on the gas pedal, and they end up friends after adventures together. Holdups, burglary, reckless driving, revenge, etc. Twists follow. So Tim Robbins talks Martin Lawrence into going back to where he lives and robbing Tim Robbins' boss. And then he goes home and finds out that it was all for naught. And yeah, the whole thing is a great movie. It starts with like a crime possible undertone, and then it leads to a heist film, and then a reverse heist film. It is fantastic. It is such a well done comedy.
I don't think they could remake Heat today because there's no actors that are as good as Val Kilmer, Pacino, and De Niro to remake it. All right, if we're gonna recast Heat, who are we doing this with? I want to hear your opinion because I think that's a perfectly cast movie.
This is a very cliche answer for me, but okay. I would absolutely love to see Robert Pattinson in a movie like that.
I love Robert Pattinson.
Oh, there you go. John Bernthal would kill in that role.
Okay, but who's he playing? Which role?
I think he's more of the Val Kilmer. With that. Yeah, I was
John Bernthal and Val Kilmer's role. He was already a remake. Yeah, I don't think so.
Technically, it was.
Oh, what?
I believe. Yeah. Let me look it up.
Michael Cera, says Eric. Michael Cera in Pacino's role.
Michael Mann's Heat is a remake of his 1989 NBC TV movie L.A. Takedown.
Oh, so you remade?
He remade his own.
That doesn't count. He's got an HBO show coming out this year, Tokyo Vice. Yeah, look up. It's got Ansel Elgort, whatever the fuck.
Oh God, no, I'm out then.
But it was filming well before. He's the man. Ansel keeps winning, man.
He has the charisma of a wet paper towel.
Actually, I would say Jake Gyllenhaal and De Niro's role. I don't think Jake Gyllenhaal can reach Pacino's intensity, but I think that's a great answer. Jake Gyllenhaal, calm and collective as Pacino.
No, I could see him reaching some of that intensity.
You could see him go, she's got a great ass.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, then who's playing De Niro? Who's playing the calm and collected?
De Niro aged down.
What about Tom Hardy? Tom Hardy's kind of quiet.
Ooh, that could actually
Tom
work.
Hardy, De Niro,
or
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Go for the wannabe Tom Hardy cosplayer, and you could go with Cillian Murphy. He could be good in that. Oh yeah.
I think we have the cast for the Heat remake, directed by.
Ooh, Villeneuve.
No, God no.
Yes.
God no. I do not want
Stylize
to Villeneuve.
No, make it like Sicario. Like Sicario. Hell yes.
Oh my God, dude. Fucking Doom was style over substance. Oh.
How can you say that? Like 20 episodes ago, which would have been -1. We were talking about how he's an incredible modern director.
He's a great director. I do not think he can make Doom. Not Doom. Sorry, Heat. I don't think he can make Heat at all. I don't think he can make Heat.
I disagree with that.
I don't think he can make Heat. I would say. Who's the director of Skyfall?
Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes. Heat.
I think.
Man's just written Heat 2. Does it have any original characters in it?
I had no idea about that.
No. Kilmer dies, right?
It's been so long since I've seen Heat. That's not like an annual rewatch for me.
Why not, Ryan? That's a fucking American classic.
Because I'm still discovering films instead of watching Zatoichi for the 38th time this month.
Hey, I haven't seen a Zatoichi movie since January.
Whoa.
So it's not...
Whoa. Oh, Heat 2 is a novel, not a film.
Is it real? For real? Are you fucking with me? Wait, is it real? I can't tell if he's fucking joking with me.
I mean, the fact that he's written 4 comments on it and it's foo. I would say.
Yeah, you mispronounced Lone Wolf and Cub, says John. Wait, foo, there's a fucking Heat sequel?
He said he just wrote it. It's probably not even out yet. Oh, there you go. It's coming out in August.
What? Are you fucking guys? That's awesome. Hey, Michael Mann wrote it? Who wrote it?
I love how everybody is breaking news to us live on here.
No, you guys don't understand. He's one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. You guys can't see it, but I'm erect.
Get flippant.
Do you guys want to see?
No, thank you.
I do have a chub though. Like, I'm excited. For real? Guys.
I mean, that's a lot of people confirming it.
Man wrote it. What the fuck? That's awesome. Oh my God. And Eric says, rewatched Heat recently. Ryan, can you pull up Heat 2 news for me on the Doppler?
Michael Mann, Heat 2. Doppler.
Dude, I have another reason to live.
All right. I've got the article up. Let me share. Got another reason to live. So the headline, Michael Mann's Heat 2 novel will be a prequel and a sequel. We've known for a few years that Michael Mann was ready to return to the dynamic world of the LA set heist thriller Heat, but in book form, written with Meg Gardner. With the arrival of a trailer for the novel, we now know that it'll follow the characters of the film before and after its storyline. featuring not only a classic face-off between Pacino's Lieutenant Vincent Hanna and Robert De Niro's master thief Neil McCauley, but also the likes of Val Kilmer, Tom Sizemore, Ashley Judd, Natalie Portman, McKelty Williamson, and Wes Studi in the cast. The film has gone down as one of the greatest crime films committed to celluloid. To follow that up is a challenge few would attempt, but the man who crafted the movie has been ready for a while. Any other?
Can you play the trailer without like just see like what like? Don't put any sound because we might get copy strike. What does a trailer for a book look like?
From Michael Mann.
From Michael Mann. Heat.
Heat 2. Even hotter.
Wow, dude, I am stoked out of my fucking gourd right now.
What? Stoked out of my gourd.
Dude, that's awesome. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
A new story.
But hey, if it sucks, I'll just say, since Meg co-wrote it, it sucks. What has she done? Can you Google Meg Garden? Because I want to see if I need to withhold my expectations. Because a woman's.
Let's see.
Dude, does Robert De Niro come back as a zombie?
Ransom River, The Shadow Tracer, Phantom Instinct, The Dirty Secrets Club, Memory Collector, The Liar's Lullaby, The Nightmare Thief.
Half of those sound like Michael Mann movies. Half of those sound like Robin Williams movies.
Unsub, Into the Black Nowhere, The Dark Corners of the Night.
Would you remake a Tarantino film? No.
No way in hell.
No way. Wow, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, 999, he was definitely trying. John Hillcoat, man, what a fucking great directorial debut with The Proposition, which is right here, and then just everything else. Den of Thieves, I think, is like the perfect bro version of Heat. Have you seen Den of Thieves?
I'm not sure.
Total bro movie version of Heat. I really like Heatsploitation. There's a bunch of Heatsploitation movies. Den of Thieves, 999. That's all I can think of. Oh, The Town. The Town's great. Man, guys, I love you. Thanks for telling me that Heat's getting a sequel in book form, but I can't read, so that sucks. Oh my god, if they do an audiobook and they hire people that sound enough like them.
I agree.
Sorry, this got quiet after Heat 2.
John says, I think someone should remake West Side Story. I think that one was just to piss you off.
God, I fucking love musicals, dude. I love music. There's nothing I love more than fucking listening to some fuck sing. I love it. When I'm watching a movie, I want songs. I already get enough of that bullshit with my kid. And Kanto's music's fucking dope, though. That soundtrack is
really good.
Sick. And then if Thieves 2 is filming too, oh, we got Havoc, we got fucking Ambulance, looks great. You got, oh man, dude, I have a few reasons to live. Elden Ring's on Wednesday. Oh man.
Val Kilmer gonna do the audiobook.
Hey, Neil. Your daughter can read it to you, Flip. Yeah. Fuck you, Jeff. I know my daughter can read and I can't. Oh, great. So does he sound like fucking what's his name? Scientist guy? Meepo. Stephen Hawking.
Scientist guy, Meat Morp.
Did you fart? Was that a fart?
No. I put my hand back on the table.
Oh man. Yeah, beep. Scientist guy. Beep
Scientist guy, beep boop. What?
Oh my god, I'm a fucking moron sometimes. Oh my god.
I love that response too. He knew he's just a terrible person. I really need to watch Val. Supposedly,
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I feel so bad.
I'm curious if that one is getting a Blu-ray release. I really thought it would have had one by now.
I hate that these. Like, I'm pissed that Havoc probably won't get a Blu-ray because it's Netflix.
Yeah.
Fucking
Well, just
such
keep in
bullshit.
mind too, it'll probably get a Region 2 Blu-ray. Or
That's
Region
true.
B.
Probably good. Japan. Did you know what I learned the other day?
No.
There is
I
a
don't.
box, like a HDMI box that came out in 2010 that has 660 something Shaw Brothers movies on it. It was an official product. It's called the Z Eagle, ZII Eagle, and it was like $800, and it came with all the movies in HD.
What?
I can't find it anywhere.
I was
I'm trying
about
to
to say
find a
that
secondhand copy.
the last time it sold on eBay, it was probably like $4,000.
No, it was 900, which I would.
Yeah, I imagine you would find a way to buy that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would find a way. Yeah,
That
what's up?
sounds. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah. See, Fu knew exactly what I was talking about. I just learned about this the other night. I won't so bad. Val Kilmer's elbow steals the show in Heat, though. Have you seen his elbow in Heat?
His elbow and he. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't.
Google Val Kilmer elbow Heat. He fucked up his elbow filming something. So throughout the whole movie, he's just got this mass. And anytime he's on screen, I can't help but fucking look at his elbow.
Oh, Jesus Christ! No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
It's terrible. I am shocked that Netflix hasn't had their own boutique. It's weird what does eventually come out from Netflix. Like, Castlevania is getting Blu-rays. Like, that's
I don't
just
think I'd heard that.
yeah. Castlevania's got all the seasons out so far on Blu-ray, which is weird. It's very bizarre.
The amount of money that they could make that they're literally just sitting on, I don't understand. Especially when they're raising rates all the time on subscriptions. I mean, just release. I mean, one thing and test it. Obviously, they've done work with Criterion and work with the Target exclusives for Stranger Things season 1 and 2. But I mean, I can't imagine that those didn't.
Wait, Stranger
sell well.
Things has a release?
Yeah, season 1 and 2 both have Blu-ray releases, and season 1 actually has a 4K release.
What the fuck?
And it came in VHS packaging.
I agree. If Havoc doesn't get a blue, I'm gonna go to their headquarters and go, quit wasting my motherfucking time. Start quoting Pacino from Heat again.
There's a lot that they could really do.
Is it Man in the White Castle Amazon?
It is.
Or is that Man in the High Castle, not the White Castle? White Castle is a White
Man in the White Castle. It's just a bunch of people flipping burgers.
It's just me sitting there being like, 2 more sliders, please.
It's just
Man in the White Castle. I'm gonna have diarrhea later.
I could see it being just like a bunch of Nashville drama.
Dude, Taylor and I went to White Castle once, and I loved it. Loved it. And she was like, this fucking is disgusting. And I'm like, give me yours. I'll eat yours.
Legitimately, though,
Yeah.
why don't they have their own label?
I don't know. I want Too Old to Die Young on Blu-ray, too. Fuck Amazon. I wanted a season 2 of that.
The amount of money that some of these these labels make is crazy. Like, maybe I shouldn't talk about that, but I had a meeting with another label recently, and I found out what the business side of the Vinegar Syndrome partner labels are, and there is some money involved, and there's some people getting semi screwed over, but it's such an interesting setup, and there's I can't give a lot more details, but it is.
You're gonna talk off there.
Maybe.
Hey, I'm old. Give me a break. Start us. That was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life, and I love you.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'd probably watch Man in the White Castle.
Can we do an episode on Heat too? Why are you laughing?
That's super serious face after.
I'm dead serious, dude. I want to see it so bad. I want to read it. Sorry.
That was really good. I can't imagine how you kept your face still that long.
I'm not joking.
I know you're not joking, but that was the best part of it.
Do you want? We should do an episode on heat exploitation movies.
Heat exploitation.
I need to make that list next. I made a raid exploitation list. I need to make a heat exploitation list. You have to read it first, bro. I know when it comes out, I'm gonna read it and then we'll do a review. The Discovering Cinema Book Club.
The discovering books. So disc doesn't even make sense there.
We could have a new show called Page Turners.
There you go.
Hey, cliched. Heat's off.
This started really
month,
rough tonight.
Godfather 4K.
Yeah. You think it's going to be
The burgers are too small for no, but it's going to be something I buy and waste my money. I'll have 3 versions of the Godfather.
Speaking of wasting money, I don't know if you saw the Disconnected post today. There is a sale going on in Best Buy where if you buy at least 2 pieces of physical media and put it in your cart, they are discounted by 20%. And it's including pre-orders right now. So you might want to look at Godfather. I'm not sure if they have it, but that is a great price for brand new things. What's funny is the Scream Factory release of Alligator in 4K came out today, and it wasn't included in the sale, but stuff coming out in a month was included.
That's weird. Well, it's because Alligator is so superior to everything else that it needs.
It's possible.
Nerd's got a good point. I will dress up like Pacino in that movie. I'll wear a suit. Goes on after Burger King of the and also followed by Gone with the Wendy's.
I was gonna say, I was gonna make the joke that Wendy's Williams just got canceled.
I'm so glad she did.
She is such a terrible person. I've never respected her even for one moment.
Yeah. What's another pun we can make? Trying to think of. Freddy's got fingered. The Burger King, the burger franchise, Freddy's. Do you guys have a Freddy's over there?
We do, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one for Culver's. It's a very Midwest chain.
Culver's is good. Butter burgers, and we have like 4 in our area. You can't really do one for McDonald's.
Dairy Queen's Gambit.
That's a good one. That's a good one. What do you think Subway Jared's up to? 5 guys having a baby? That's great. That's amazing.
I love the non-irony of 2 fat guys talking about fast food chains named after TV shows now.
Yeah, hey, this is our new show. 2 fat fucks and a burger.
Artery clogging cinema.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of Culver of the Night. That's pretty good. Culver, and that's about as best. Taco Bell's jar.
That's pretty good.
That's great. Subway of the Dragon. Oh my god! Subway of the Dragon. That's great. Oh man.
Perfect. The King of
Dairy Queens. Oh, that was a good hoot.
I love it.
I think 5 guys and a baby is just... Oh man. When you put your finger right there, I think you're trying to seduce me. If you thought I was hard about heat too, Brian, let me tell you.
You should see
Let me
the
tell you
heat
that.
in here.
Oh man, dude. See, I'm like glistening. I was legitimately like super excited about heat too. I'm glistening. I have a little light sweat.
My house has really poor heating and cooling, and it's just insulated terribly. Except my movie room gets like perfectly climatized. So right now the heat is up really high for everybody else who's sleeping, and I'm like, it is hot in here.
The heat is on. What do you think Subway Jared's doing?
Kids,
I heard he had to hire protection in prison.
he
He
had
had
to
to
hire
pay people to
protection.
protect them.
Yikes.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I bet they charged
Psych.
him more than $5.
You can't even get a dude. This is millennials got it so bad. You can't even get a $5 for long these days. You kidding me? Kidding me? Well, do you want to
$5.06 to share.
do you want to wrap it up before our jokes get too bad?
Too fat, too
Too
fat, too
fat.
furious.
Too fat. Too yeah. I have to fart really loud. Hang on. Ready? Ready?
No.
Oh, hey. Let me tell you a story. Let
Okay,
me tell you a
that went
story.
way off the rails.
Let me tell you something real quick. At the gym, they have an iPad, right? And it's unlocked all the time, and you can just go to Spotify, type in music, whatever. Before I leave, I've been putting on a 24/7 loop of fart noises. So when I leave the gym and I'm the only one there, you can hear from the car. So they put a lock on the iPad. Isn't that awesome? Chick
Oh god.
Chick-fil-A's gays, they
That
don't like
is
gay people.
that is the perfect title to end on. Thanks for hanging out tonight, everybody. Remakes are not bad inherently. We'll see you next week. We'll have another good topic.